Hi and welcome to episode 2 of Let's Talk House and Home with Beth Pollard, owner of House and Home Bespoke here in Melton Mowbray. Over the next few episodes we're going to talk about the various aspects and services of House and Home, and today we're going to cover sales.
We are, yes. Really big topic and something that is probably my favourite topic. I think we touched on my business only wanting to be a sales only business and selling the sort of properties that I wanted to sell and be involved in and love, and then we opened it into a sales and lettings business. But sales is my true passion. I absolutely love selling houses that are probably older, a little bit quirky, a little bit different. I think there's a lot of agents that don't understand that element, that it isn't just a 2-bed semi or a 3-bedroom semi, which you know we most of us know the layout unless something really different's been done. I think the individual village properties deserve to be individually presented and represented, and I think that's where my passion for that sort of really came from. And then how to do it differently, and that's, you know, from the first series again, there's lots of estate agents around that we all see and we all know names on our high streets, but I wanted to do it just that step further, a little bit more personal, a little bit hand holding. I think there's a lot of jargon in this industry that you hear EPCs and EIRCs and easements and all those words that we don't hear in day-to-day language.
Yeah,
so
and I think that's probably what sets you apart, isn't it?
And I just think having that time to talk that through is invaluable. I also think having that hand holding when you're unsure, and to ask a question, no question's a daft question, because we're all unsure and there's so much to go through. Selling your home is up there with one of the most stressful things to do. And I think lots of people feel that pain point.
Yeah, absolutely.
When they're going through that transaction. So yeah, there was sort of being able to talk through the process with people, be there with them, phone into an office and not be passed around was a real big thing of mine, and that's why I wanted to do what we're doing. So I think it's really important to get through to the person and have that person's name that you are dedicated to see you through that transaction process. They were just 3 real key points to me that I think gave me the point of difference to work with people on a really bespoke and individual basis.
Yeah, and I think it comes across that you genuinely care, don't you, about everybody that phones in and walks in through the door.
I think because we're not just an estate agent, we are, you know, somebody's therapist, you know, someone's shoulder to cry on, you know, biggest life problems that you are shared with you need to be taken seriously. And so I do think that you're their home mover, their home seller, their therapist, their agony aunt, their go-to at that point of, oh my God, what do I do? And everybody's motivation for moving or selling their home is really different. Death, divorce, you know, not simple, but separation, marriage, growing families, you know, really deep conversations, and I just think that motivation has got so much emotion attached to it, and that's what's, you know, people's driving. It isn't just transactional.
Yeah, absolutely.
So yes, the doing it different from a personal point of view is really key, but then the doing it different from a marketing point of view, as you will know, has to give us a point of difference. So how to equip people to selling their homes, what items they're going to need, how we go about selling the home. It makes me cringe to think that estate agent still stands there with their phone in a corner going, oh, we'll do this and we'll take your photo from here and we'll do that. Mobile phones are great, but everything has its purpose, and it isn't putting house brochures together with phone photography.
The world's moved on.
Massively, and somebody's home is usually their biggest asset that they own. So why taking it with a mobile phone that you pay 30 quid a month for is going to justify those photos and give you the best opportunity to be seen? So we make sure that you're planned and prepped with the best photography, with the best floor plans, with all of the highlights that you're going to see. So there is one story which I will say quickly, is I had a lovely chap who lived in a village just outside of Melton, And we did it his way, shall we say, because he was a widowed chap. He was quite set in his ways, but lovely, and I had all the time in the world for him. And he used to make my hair fall out, I'm sure, as well, because we did it how he wanted, because he didn't want it done any other way. Okay, completely respected his wishes. But at the third sale falling through, I was like, we need coffee. We probably need something stronger than coffee, but let's go with coffee. And we need to talk through a really strategic way. So eventually he came round to our way of thinking, and we agreed to disagree. But he's like, I just need to move, and he was moving miles away to start a new life. And I just said, well, let's do it my way. Let's strip it back. Can you go out? I literally locked him out of his house because he liked to stand just exactly behind me to see what I was doing. Can you go out and walk your dog for at least an hour and a half?
Oh, so you reorganised his home?
So then I went through like a whirlwind. I changed beds, I ironed, I moved, I changed colourways, the lot. And he came back and he was like, oh. I was like, don't touch anything. And bless him, he took it all on board. But we went from failed sales to achieving more than £25,000 more than if we'd just done the repeated behaviour. And that is the definition of insanity, isn't it? So no one wants to go there, and you feel like you're stuck in a rut. And sales, all they do all fall through it or have glitchy points at some point. So if we can overcome those, but equally give our client the end result and the best result, I think we come away feeling super proud of ourselves for delivering that, but really pleased for our client that they've moved on. They can live their life, they can enjoy their dreams. And to me, that is ultimately what it is all about.
Oh, well, that's great. And next time I think we're going to talk about lettings. So thank you very much for joining us, and we'll see you next time.
Thanks for watching.